To the war here in Europe now, and the leaders of France, Germany, Poland and the UK are in Ukraine. The first time the heads of 4 European nations have made a joint visit to the country. French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer arrived in Kyiv to discuss ceasefire plans with President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. They have been joined by Poland's leader Donald Tusk. The group wants Russia to agree to a full and unconditional 30-day ceasefire to pave the way for lasting peace. Earlier, I asked Rebecca Ritters, our Kyiv correspondent, what we can expect from the visit today.
Well, every time there's one of these high-level delegations that visit Kyiv, Michael, there is, of course, a lot of rumour and discussions, whispers about what exactly they'll be bringing. It's very unlikely, and of course, it goes without saying, would be quite unpopular if these 4 leaders came empty-handed. But exactly what concrete they will be bringing remains to be seen. We will be finding out throughout the course of the day, certainly after the meeting with Volodymyr Zelenskyy. But something that I guess you could say is concrete that they are bringing with them is this sign of solidarity with Ukraine, this sort of coordinated, unified European solidarity and support for Ukraine. And of course that comes at a time when perhaps the other Ukrainian partner, the United States, support has been wavering since Donald Trump took office earlier this year. Although we have seen the relations between the US and Ukraine, of course, warming in recent days and weeks as Donald Trump met with Volodymyr Zelenskyy had this private but very, very public discussion at the funeral of Pope Francis. So we've seen warming relations there, and that's also something that's going to be in the mind of these European leaders as they come to Kyiv, how to maintain the bonds between the US and Europe when it comes vis-a-vis Ukraine, and that's something that all 4 leaders will be certainly at pains to talk about today.
DW's chief political editor, Michaela Küfner, joins me now in the studio for more on this. Michaela, a big symbolic move by the Europeans. I take it that they were waiting for Merz to be officially elected before making this symbolic gesture.
Absolutely. Germany was essentially out of the picture for 6 months. That's how long ago the last government collapsed. And that's how long it took for Friedrich Merz to be up and running. Germany is Europe's largest economy. It's where the money will be, in large parts, to bolster the defense industry. And that's also why Germany has great authority in knocking heads together in Brussels on what the future looks like. So whatever comes out of this, whether there will be a ceasefire for 30 days or not, today is a very historic moment because you see the Europeans taking a stance together, and this includes Britain heading to Kyiv on the historic, within the historic date of 80 years since the Second World War ended. They take a symbolic stance for now. We don't know what they will be speaking about to prevent another war from further escalating.
The new German Chancellor has been moving since he was elected. Paris, Brussels, Warsaw, all of these cities visited the heads of state in all of those places. What does he bring to the table now in Kyiv?
Well, he brings the ability to actually translate political statements into action, both at the German but also at the European level, because Germany carries so much economic weight. At the same time, him heading, normally a German chancellor immediately heads to Paris, that's for sure, because the Franco-German engine is something that underpins the stability of the European Union. Now, it's an open secret that Emmanuel Macron did not get on that great with Olaf Scholz. They didn't see eye to eye on many policy issues. They never really hit it off. The Élysée Palace is beginning to be a bit more open about that now that Olaf Scholz is gone. So despite those pictures and that final dinner together, it simply didn't work out. Now Friedrich Merz, he is a new chance, not just for the Franco-German engine, but also to have this coalition of the willing for bolstering European defence, including Keir Starmer, the Brits who left the European Union, and, of course, Poland, which potentially bears the brunt of any further Russian threat to the unity of Europe, and that does not have to be on the battlefield. A lot of that is hybrid warfare. It's pushing migrants across the border, particularly in Belarus. So they are now finally able to take a credible stance together. And we're already seeing some movement, because we are seeing the Russian side saying, well, they need to learn more about what 30 days of a truce could mean. So we are seeing political movement in action here today.
Merz has only been Chancellor of Germany for a few short days. He promised a lot during the election campaign. What has he already implemented in terms of foreign policy?
Well, he has visited the key partners. He has promised on more German leadership. He is willing to take very tough measures. We see that with the borders now being not just patrolled more, but asylum seekers not being allowed to enter the country. That goes beyond anything that Germany has done before. And this is a point of friction, particularly with Poland as well. So he is welcome. Clearly, everybody was waiting for Germany to be back. The question is, he's made bold statements of leadership. Where will he put his money in the end? That's the key question, where he himself says, well, that still needs to be worked out. But we've seen really a lot of symbolism and a lot of promise of leadership over those past days. And we're seeing it right now as well.
Always good to see you, Michaela. DW's Chief Political Editor, Michaela Küfner.